President John Dramani Mahama has just wrapped up the State of the Nation's address, and he had lots of stuff to say about sports, especially Ghana's participation in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. He is admonishing Ghanaians to come back when they go to the World Cup to watch the Black Stars. He's saying, please come back. Don't get us on a banned list again. And before the president spoke, the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, had appeared before the Parliament Select Committee on Youth and Sports, and he actually revealed the total budget or estimates Ghana has put together ahead of the Mundial. If you just tuned in, this is Joy 99.7 and this is Game Plan. I am Muftawu Nabila sitting in for your regular host, Fentiu, Tahiru Fentiu. This show is a very interactive show, and you can tweet or post so that we can use the hashtag Game Plan for us to share your messages with the rest of the world. You can also send us messages on 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. This show is streaming on our social media or digital pages, and do not forget to interact with us. We Sitsofe Philip. Or you know, finish doing the concert yet?
What did you say? Pronounce that name again.
Sitsofe.
That sounds a lot better. I met some gentleman yesterday. His name is Gustav. Gustav said his ever is like me, and it's always cringing when you lads, having spent so much time with me, can't still pronounce the Sitsofe. So he's saying that anytime, and he travels across our continent, so wherever he is, he's always tuned in, listening to the show. So anytime any of you pronounce...
Shout out to Gustav.
Yeah, big shout out to him. I'm sure he's listening. In fact, he could recall certain things we discussed on the show, you know. So he says he doesn't understand how you people, a whole Ghana BBC, you've been with me for this long. And you can't... I'm just quoting him. You
and I guess if Gustav is listening to me, he will say that Mufta.
No, Mufta's body. No, Mufta's body. I guess this one is a test for Fentiu. Next week, I will catch him.
You recall we were having Sports Zone?
Yeah.
And I struggled to pronounce the name.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
And you, according to you, because I do not take loads of
okra. You don't take okra.
Yeah, so, that was the reason why.
Yeah, that part is a bit slippery. So you need the okra thing, no?
Sitsofe.
To help the tongue.
Sitsofe. Sitsofe.
You blowing the wind through an angle. Yeah,
I'm sure Gustav has had lots of issues with commentators who have pronounced Stephen Pierre's name as Stephen Apaya.
Oh, guess who just tested me? So it's Gustav. He said, "Hi, Sitsofe. Indeed, I'm listening. Hi, hello, big shouts to you."
Shout out to Gustav. Thanks very much for doing the listening. Daddy, how are you?
God is good, Charlie.
I didn't see you among the people who were demonstrating at the stadium.
No, I wasn't there.
Why?
But I'm not a staff.
It's not illegal stuff.
I'm not either legal or legal stuff. Why should I go and demonstrate? Why? What are you doing there? He went there under the guise of covering the team, but he was also protesting.
Wait, I don't revoke you appointment.
You see, so I had gotten the intel earlier that there was going to be a demonstration there.
Right.
So what I did was to ask one of us to go. So it's not as if we stumbled on it. I actually knew that there was going to be a demonstration that was going to take place over there. But just last week or so, we were having a comment, or was it 2 weeks ago, that we were having Jan Povankra on the show. And
2 weeks? No, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
When we called him in.
Yeah, we spoke to him on the phone.
So Gustav remembers that when we called Yao and I said I was mad at Fentio that he didn't allow me to speak to Yao.
Yeah.
So he remembers.
Gustav is a religious listener.
No, he remembers that episode. He said he was cracking up. And I'm still pissed at Fent.
You're still pissed?
Oh yeah, I told him. After he knows.
As a man, sometimes you need to let go.
No. I don't hold anything against him. It doesn't mean I can't be pissed. It's just the way I handle the way I'm pissed. So it doesn't mean I'm not talking to Fent or when he calls me. So when he called me once, but I didn't pick one. He later called and I picked it. So that is how I'm pissed. Otherwise, the 2 times I wouldn't have picked. So I'm managing it.
Yeah, your time.
We forgot I'll give you.
I don't go vex.
But let's start this way. Sitcho, were you taken aback by the reports that 17 staff had been recruited by the National Sports Authority management without clearance from Public Service and the Finance Ministry? What are you talking about?
To be honest, yes. There's always due process. In fact, I'm here to speak to Yao on I spoke to him earlier. I'm here to speak to him on get more details, but you've got more details, so I know you share. But yeah, there are due process to follow, especially when you're in the public service or public sector. And from all indication, the due process wasn't followed. But I guess those are some of the shortfalls in the system we practice. Because when you're in office and for 10 months you don't have a board, and still work has to be done, and you feel like you need people to come in, maybe you can be impatient and try to get things done. And then you make the wrong mistake. So in public sector, a lot of things can wait for years. Nobody will touch them because they're like, we can do this if this person is not there. That's why people say maybe they are slow at times. They are not. The process has to be followed.
In fact, sometimes it's even funny. They will tell you that in public sector, without a board, you cannot spend more than a certain amount of
absolutely
money.
The board needs to be there to approve. So in that period, and of course, when the president assumed office, he was appointing several boards. So it took about 10 months before he appointed a board for National Sports Authority, I think. So in those 10 months, still work had to be done. Football matches were being played. Facilities had to be kept and everything. Money has to be spent. Money has to move. People need to fill positions to work if you want to change the face of NSA. But what I've come to learn in public service is it doesn't matter how good your intentions are. It is the process that matters. If you follow the process and you deliver 0, it is better in this context than not following the process and delivering 100 or 99. So maybe the people Yao has brought in have helped. From all indication, the NSA looks a little better. Facilities are in better shapes than they met. So maybe for all the people that he employed, that is the benefit of that. But it all doesn't matter if due process wasn't followed. Because the risk is, if you allow that to happen across all sectors, then there's no proper control over the processes, right? So yeah, I was taken aback by the fact that the process wasn't properly done and for the people to come in. And hopefully the right thing is done.
And in fact, there are loads of requests. When I was trying to check at the Finance Ministry, I was made to understand there are loads of requests that are pending. Someone actually cited the example of nurses.
Doctors, those who graduated recently, their names are there. They have not been.
Why they've not been recruited? Because we've not gotten clearance from the Finance Ministry to recruit. So, and sometimes I say if Yao were to still sit on this very seat, he would ask same questions.
Yeah.
Why did he recruit without going through due process?
Yeah.
And
if the role reversed, then he was the board chair?
No,
is that what you're saying?
No,
if he was here, and Muftawu was
a journalist, if he were still a practicing journalist, I
think Yao is still a practicing journalist. The way they post. You know, be full-time politician. I get it.
He's a partial politician. But then, okay, talk to me. But 17 is actually a huge number.
Look, it's a huge number.
First, let me ask this: 17 across the country, 17 in Accra.
They're all at the headquarters.
Okay.
It's a it's a very huge number. And for me, I choose to look at it this way. They are employees of the NSA who were left redundant. Who were left redundant as a result of some of these appointments. So there were people whose names have followed due process, who go to work, do basically nothing, and are taking salary at the end of the day. That's financial loss.
Factors.
Because they are being paid to do the jobs that you've brought others without due process to come in to do. And for me, it doesn't make sense. That is wrong. Especially when you are very well aware that there are processes you have to follow. There was a first warning or directive that was sent for him to revoke, and he didn't oblige. And which for me is again very problematic, because your boss has now told you that I've looked at this thing and it is illegal.
It is not part of our structure.
So stop it. Get those guys out and do the right thing. And that wasn't done. And it took a second intervention.
And now there was a third one with the minister.
A third one with the minister before a meeting, and now he's coming to tell us that
they should reapply.
They are now going to reapply. And you see, this thing is wrong. There are people in the NSA with expertise, like staff members. I'm not talking about the political appointments. Staff members, the NSA, who have the expertise, who for years have just wanted to be empowered. Because leadership is everything. So if you have somebody who is good at the job, if you have somebody who is very well experienced, and you are not using that person properly, you are underutilizing the person. And we saw it in how the NSA was delivering its mandate over the past few years. And then you've come in. I'm not saying that I'm not going to criticize the face of NSA now because clearly there has been an improvement. But you have to go through the right quarters to get the right things done. That's how I see it, and that's what it is. You have to. You can't argue that it wouldn't have been possible to reach this point if you had used the people who were there waiting for you, waiting to serve you. You didn't have to go and bring in 17 people out of the books to come and get the work done. It didn't have to happen. There are 2 deputies who are sitting in the office there, and now they say, Chief Operations Officer.
Yeah, Chief Operations Officer.
Who is now essentially doing the job of the deputies.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that the by extension the president is not smart in his appointments, and that you don't think the president did a good job, so you are bringing somebody to come and do the no, it doesn't work like that. And from all indications, these deputies haven't even done anything substantial for you to judge them on and say, okay, fine, I gave them this and this and it didn't work, that's why I brought in. From the get-go, CEO has come, which is wrong. So
normally when they've got
you know the issues. You know the issues very well.
No, when they've got deputies and they've got maybe 2, these deputies do not work the same role. You could have a deputy DG in charge of administration.
Yeah.
A deputy DG in charge of operations. So in that structure, if you have a COO, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't fit.
And that is actually where the gap is. And in fact, he traveled, he went out of the countries, and the deputies didn't even know. There were no handing over those. Let's go on the phone. Fentio has joined us on the phone.
If no good, if no day yet, why they call up? Is he a resource person? Is he a resource person?
What is the problem? What is Sitso's problem?
My problem is if you are not here in the flesh.
What are you doing?
What are you doing
virtually
in the wind?
Yeah, okay. I'm not.
What are you doing
asked
in the
question. I can answer the question. He said, if I'm not there, if I'm there in the flesh, then what? I'm there in the spirit and I'm here in the flesh.
We don't need your spirit.
At the shock. Cut the line and go and sleep.
this one, you are here in the voice. You are here in the voice.
I have things to say.
What is in your chest that you want to clear?
Well, it's not necessarily what is in my chest. It is about holding public officers accountable. And I think that's what we strive to do here at Joy Sports. It really hasn't, in fact, if there's anything that anybody can say about Joy Sports, it's the fact that we've been very consistent. And especially when it's come to issues to do with the National Sports Authority, I don't think that this entire country, there's one particular desk that has done more work on the NSA and trying to hold the NSA accountable, which is the regulatory body for all sports in this country. So they have a higher threshold of responsibility compared to any other institution. And we have strived in the past to try and hold people accountable. We've gone through several different directors general of the NSA. Some of them have been sacked from office as a result of our work. And this institution has gone through quite a lot. We've come to a period where an NSA Director General was involved in visa racketeering during the Australia 2018 visa scandal. He was suspended by Akufo-Addo and subsequently sacked before he was replaced by Mr. Chumesi. So that institution and Mr. Chumesi, or Professor Chumesi, we know his history as well. We've had several shows where we've discussed his lack of accountability and sheer incompetence on the job. Eventually, he was let go. Then a new one came. Even the board of the NSA and the way they regulated the staff of the institution came up for conversations. And we have strived every single time to hold this office accountable. That's why when there is a change of government and a new NSA director is put in charge of the institution, we expect nothing but the same standards. And from our side, we expect nothing less than the same consistent standards of holding the same office responsible. When Jan Pofanka took office, and we saw improvements in the way that Accra Sports Stadium was being managed, all of us praised him for it. Sitsofe, myself, Daniel, when we saw the pitch, the improvements in the pitch, when we saw that other entertainment shows were being held there and there were pitch panels or there were pitch covers that were brought in to cover the pitch, or how the stadium looked a few days after a massive event, we all praised him for it because that is what we expect from the people that we put in charge of managing our sports. And there have been several instances where Yao has done an excellent job, especially when it comes to managing.
I remember, was it Sitsofe who said that Yao is managing the place, and it appears as though Professor Chimesu, he made a thing appear you needed to be a rocket scientist to be able to run the office.
Absolutely. So you remember all of these things. So we praise Yao a lot for all of the initial work that he did when he first took office. On this singular matter, however, I believe strongly that he goofed. And I'm happy that he came out with a statement eventually to admit the wrongdoing and to accept that it is important to go through the entire process. We didn't say that. This is not an allegation. This is something that he's accepted, and this is something that he's agreed that he's going to try and rectify. And as Daniel said, a lot of this was avoidable. And I think it's a lesson we need to be able to tell Yao in the face that there are some things that if you continue on that path, it will not end well with him. And one of them is this, and Sitsofe mentioned it, the public service is completely different from the private sector. You can't just hire people simply because you are Director General, because these people will be paid from the taxpayers' money. Staff of the NSA are paid from controller. Anybody that is paid by controller has to have been employed following a certain due process. That process involves getting clearance from the Public Services Commission. It involves getting clearance from the Finance Ministry, who would be paying these people's salaries. You can't employ people and expect the state to pay them without going through this process. But that's what Yao did. So Yao and his NSA picked all these 17 people. And by the way, all these 17 people have not been paid a dime since they were employed. And that's what makes me wonder. Daniel mentioned it. If you needed these people, and Yao was the one who took to Facebook to say that all the 17 people contributed to Ghana's World Cup qualification. And I'm saying that if you needed all these 17 people to contribute to the World Cup qualification, and you didn't have a board, and you couldn't get clearance in time to bring all these people on board, you're still a boss. You still have certain powers. One of them, and that's what I believe he should have done, was to have hired these people on a contract basis and pay them from his internal generated funds, because the NSA has IGFs. So what prevented him from doing this? But you could have, because after all, in all this period, they haven't been paid. In fact, if you had taken them on a contract basis and paid them from the IGFs, they would have been paid by now. And after delivering the World Cup qualification, those people could have gotten their money and they could have gotten away. And then once your board was installed, then you tell them that, okay, you came on board as contract staff and you did a great job. Now there's an opportunity to be employed. This is the process. We finally have clearance. You can employ. And you see, everybody has to have an equal chance of employment because it's the public services. So all these things, in fact, even when the vacancy becomes available, it has to be advertised so that everybody can come on board and apply and feel like they have an equal chance of getting the job. And then they go through the process. And then Yao will sit through that process as well. And from there, he can decide that, no, I've worked with this person before. I think he's competent enough to do the job, and you can employ them. But you don't bypass the entire process and then employ people in what capacity? How did he even hand them employment letters? I don't understand that part. So he just opened himself up for unnecessary scrutiny. And meanwhile, this was all avoidable. And this could have been done, like I said, through a very simple process of bringing them on board as contract staff and paying them from the IGF. He could then justify to the board that we needed these people to come and help us do A, B, C, D. The board wasn't in place. Obviously, we couldn't get employment clearance to bring them on board as employees to help us. So, therefore, we decided to do it through contract and we paid them from our IGFs. End of story.
But even in this instance, Fentu, per what Joyce was knows, these people were paid allowance. And if you pay them allowance, because from the checks that we did, they were not paid through the NSA accounts, because if auditors can ask them to return the money. So they had to find a way of giving them allowance and all that. But that also creates a certain gap that people within the institution feel that as a leader, you are trying to take advantage of that gap to bring in your people. Someone like the chief operations officer, you know, the institution in its organogram does not have anything like a chief operations officer. So why did you set up that office?
Yeah, so look, and for me, I think all of these are questions that obviously that need to be answered. But obviously for me, I feel like this was a place where he had dropped the ball, and he's a senior colleague. We respect him very much. And we will not be honest people if we can't look him in the face and tell him the truth. And in this matter, I would say he goofed. And for me, one of the things that really upsets me, or not upset really, maybe disappoints me, I would say, is that Yao took a story and went on Facebook initially and called it fake news. And called it fake news. No, hold on. He posted a screenshot of the Joy story on this matter and called it fake news, only for you to release a statement 2 days ago admitting to the very facts that Joy Sports put out last week. So you went and you called all of our integrity into question, made us all look stupid and feel like we all didn't know what we were doing, when deep down you knew the truth, and a week later you've admitted to everything that was in the publication. I found that very disappointing, especially given that Yao was on this side of the seat and he knew and knows exactly what kind of checks we did, and he knew that we had sources, and he knew the conversations that he had behind the scenes trying to discover who were the sources. Deep down he knew that it was true, but then you put out a public statement on Facebook to the whole world and call Joy Sports fake news, that we spread fake news. We don't spread fake news at Joy Sports. We don't spread. Have I ever spread fake news about you? That again, do we spread fake news?
They ask you a question. Fetio, they ask you a question. Do we spread fake news?
Oh, how?
No fake news.
You don't spread fake news. Yeah, call
But
all about fake news media.
Fence. You don't say the way you define it, they feel you. I know why. You do your body like Jose Mourinho. You're defending your clan.
Jose.
Oh yes.
You call your outlet fake news, so you hit.
Vex.
I fool you.
Please, if anybody's Sicho, you are part of the brand. We are all part of the Joy Sports brand. If somebody calls us fake news somewhere,
you get
upset.
You get issue.
Okay, exactly. Y'all call that fake news. On that front, y'all have to apologize to us.
Y'all no try.
He owes us an apology. Yeah.
I'm telling you, because all the platforms put out
You see, he has a very strong following.
Yes,
a very strong following. And at the time, we were getting a lot of hits for that post.
And moreover, he's an official.
Yes.
People will always believe official sources.
Absolutely.
And then a few days later, you've come to release a statement. We said Minister has directed that the people should reapply. You say it was fake news, and all of a sudden you've come to admit the same thing. It was kind of funny. But the fact, just before I let you go,
you should say I was fake news.
Just before I let you go, the demonstration we saw there yesterday. Do you think that was necessary?
Yeah, the people that went to do the demonstration, Yao came to assure them that nobody will lose their jobs. For me, like, that is within Yao's right to tell people that they will not lose their jobs. The ones that the 17 people that he employed, it's up to him to look them in the face and tell them that it's totally up to him. Whatever discussions he's had with the people, what kind of assurances he's had, I don't know. I wouldn't know. Maybe he's got some assurances that they will get their jobs, or that when they get the clearance and they ask people to reapply, those 17 people, he's guaranteeing them their jobs. I don't know. He shouldn't be doing that, but he has a right to say that. But even that in itself, it's problematic, because let's say now people that you get all the clearance, and all of a sudden we know that there are 17 roles available at the NSA. And me too, I'll go and call my cousin who has finished university for the past 2 years, doesn't have a job, and I say, Charlie, NSA has advertised there are 17 roles available. Go through the process. Yao has already told the 17 people there that they will not lose their jobs. There's no chance for another person to get the job. You see the slight problem there, but it's public service. Everybody has to feel like they have a chance. You understand? So that plays to some way.
Yes, indeed, it is some way. Thank you. Show proudly brought to you by Betway, Getaway More, Western Union. Send and receive money around the world. Betway, it is time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer, and place bets and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. If they place bets using your code, you will earn 4% of their wager. It doesn't matter whether it is a win or a loss. If they bet with your code, you earn 4% cash of their wager amount. This means the more people bet with your code, the more you will earn. Start betting, sharing, and winning with a Bet Influencer exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. And the Joy FM Safari Experience 2026 is happening. The Joy Ghana Month brings you lots of effort that you cannot miss. A Joy FM celebration of all the things Ghanaian and humorous capture of our daily trances in Lorry Palava. Joy Prime Ghana Fest, a 2-day celebration of made in Ghana products amid fun and entertainment, and the ultimate escape into nature, the Joy Safari Experience 2026. Imagine waking up to fresh forest air, wildlife just steps away, and breakfast served in the heart of nature. This March, Joy FM is inviting you to escape the city properly. Friday 20th and Saturday 21st March, we are taking you on the Joy FM Safari Experience 2026, a 2-day luxury adventure through Aqua Safari and Safari Valley. We head to Aqua Safari, Lakeside Branch, Island Boat Rides, Segway Adventures, and just when you think it can't get better, we head to Safari Valley for pure relaxation at the evening bonfire and retire into luxury cabins tucked into nature. We rise early for a sunrise hike along the Equiapim Ridge, breathtaking views, golden light, guided wildlife encounters, and unforgettable moments. This is not just a trip, it is nature, comfort, adventure, created the Joy FM way. Limited spaces are available. So for premium experience, a single is 5,000 and a double is 8,000. Call or WhatsApp Slevin on 053 100 3813 now to book your slot. 053 100 3813 to book your slot. The Joy Ghana Month Celebration 2020 is sponsored by GCB, your bank for life. Sitsofe make her laugh in capital letters. This is your 3-day only shopping alert, starting this Friday, the 27th, through to Sunday, the 1st of March 2026. It is the electoral Ramadan factory sales, the Ramadan Bazaar you've been waiting for. Yes, for just 3 days, grab unbeatable deals on Samsung, TCL, Media, and NASCO electrical and electronic appliances at crazy factory sale prices. We are talking TVs, home theaters, air conditioners, refrigerators, washing machines, gas cookers, microwaves, chest freezers, display freezers, and small kitchen appliances, all going at massive discounts. And guess what? You will find brand new items, slightly dented units, off showroom displays, refurbished, and more, all at bargain prices. Visit us at EGL Spintex near Coca-Cola Roundabout, Ring Road near Paloma Hotel, Kumasi on the Castle Road, Takrare near Telecel, Mankesim near the Roundabout. Don't miss it. It is strictly Friday to Sunday only. For enquiries, call 050-315-9739 or 050-298-9894. Electoral Ramadan Bazaar, shop smart, save big, and bring the blessings home. The round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League is set. Real Madrid will come up against Manchester City. Antoine Semenyo will be making his UEFA Champions League debut. Mohamed Kudus and Tottenham Hotspur, they will be coming up against Atletico Madrid, 2014 finalists of this competition. Kamaldeen and Atalanta will come against Bayern Munich. There is Liverpool versus Galatasaray. Arsenal comes up against Leverkusen. Bodo Glimt will play Sporting Lisbon. The obvious question is, why is UEFA always pairing Manchester City and Real Madrid? Why? Why do they let them meet so early like that? UEFA gets some agenda against Man City or Real Madrid or what? And just to let you know, in the course of the conversation, there is a boxing fight that will be happening on March 7 in Koforidua. It is dubbed the 1957 Fight Night, and we'll have the team here pass through to speak to us about what the 1957 Fight Night is all about. But before that, let me come to the studio. We've spoken a lot about NSA. Now we want to talk about UEFA Champions League football. Galatasaray versus Liverpool, Leverkusen versus Arsenal, Bodo Glimt versus Sporting Lisbon, Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham, Real Madrid versus Manchester City, Atalanta versus Bayern Munich. Let me take the thoughts of Sicho and Danny K on these fixtures. Before the fixtures, Danny K, did you see, or if anyone had told you, Bodo Glimt who knocked out Inter Milan from the UEFA Champions League, would you have considered this a possibility?
Obviously, on paper, we all thought it was because of Inter's experience in terms of performances. In fact, Bodo Glimt, the first caught my eye, I think it was 2 seasons. The time they beat Mourinho in the
6-1.
Yes. And then I think that was Conference League.
Yeah.
Then Europa League. They play some really good enterprising football.
So that was Europa League.
That was Europa League. Yeah, that was before. Yeah. Then the last 2 games of the group stages, when I was looking at the permutations, because people were looking at the race for the top 8. But the race for the final places for the top 24 was also very interesting. And Bodo Glimt had to beat Atletico Madrid and Man City in their last 2 games to have a chance of qualifying. Atletico Madrid was away from home. No, Man City was at home, and Atletico Madrid was away from home. And they had to win those last 2 games. And then they went on and they won those last 2 games and they qualified. So for anybody who was going to be paired against them, you would know that this is a dangerous team, especially at their home ground. That's artificial pitch can be problematic for some teams. Then they went and they beat Inter in the first leg. Now Inter are the same ones when Liverpool were that rough patch.
Yeah.
Go and finish your job for us. They went and Liverpool beat them. So me and Tana, I'd been looking at them some way.
Your eyes know they see them clear.
Some way. And then the 3-1 defeat at Bodo Glimt. But I will not come and lie and say I thought Bodo Glimt would finish them. I thought Inter, because of their experience, would go San Siro and then they'll do their job. But my eye was on that game. So when I didn't comment, I kept on looking at the Inter game. I was like, wait, Inter are still not scoring. Like, the problem is becoming a problem.
Them juju them or what?
Yeah. And I was looking at commentary around that game, reading commentary around that game. And the suggestion was Bodo Glimt were playing their football at San Siro. And then, Charlie, the result happened. But it's I think it's big credit to Bodo Glimt. They've earned their place in the round of 16. They play some really good football. They have, in fact, a couple of their players are in the Norwegian national team, which has just qualified for the World Cup. In fact, they are going to the World Cup as one of the dark horses. So I think it's one of those things in football. We see it happens once in a very long time. You see a golden generation emerge.
Similar to Leicester 2016.
No, I'm talking, this one is more of like club and country. So it coincides with the national team doing well at that point in time. And remember the Portuguese golden generation, the early 2000, from 2000 to 2002, then Porto win UEFA Cup, then Porto win Champions League. It may have a connection, it may not, but we see it happening in football sometimes. So it's more credit to Bodo Glimt. For Inter Milan, look, I've heard conversations around the Serie A. I think it's a very cheap.
Sitcho is seated next to you.
No, I think it's very cheap agenda. Like you can't tell me
next to you.
You can't tell me that because a couple clubs have been knocked out early, then all of a sudden it means that the league is declining. So last season when they stripped the English champions from round of 16, Man City went out round of 16. Aston Villa were kicked out the following round. If I didn't even work, the European teams, they were not seeing top. Did it all of a sudden mean that the Premier League has a decline? But when you go to Europe, Bologna made it through. Fiorentina made it through. Yes, they struggled, but they still made it through. They are still in the competition. Atalanta turned it around against Dortmund. Nobody's talking about that. And we are talking about, in fact, Juventus would have beaten Galatasaray. With 10 men, they scored 2 goals in the second half. They would have beaten, but okay, they didn't. But we are talking facts. But the bottom line is, I think it's cheap agenda. I don't think you can lose one season to write off an entire league because a couple clubs have not done well in the Champions League. I don't think that is a fair argument at all.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fair. But this season in the Champions League alone,
Yeah,
Bodo Glimt, they've beaten Manchester City and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, if they
And they
beat
drew against Borussia Dortmund.
Man City, are you going to say the Premier League is blah 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 because Bodo Glimt beat Man City? I agree with that. I think it's a cheap one. But Bodo Glimt, they only started winning major trophies in 2019 when Knudsen, their coach, came in. And they went on to win it in a stretch, four league titles in a row, and they've since been making steady progress. In Europe, Danny recalls that AS Roma thumping quite well, 6-1 in the end.
Yeah.
And they've gradually been growing strong. And one thing that helps them is when some of these Norwegian players leave Norway to hug at their great player who is scoring goals this season for fun. Was at one point on the books of AC Milan, he didn't quite make the cuts. He's back in Norway with Bodo Glimt. They've got a couple of players like that. But even what's more fascinating now is to know that they've not played any competitive football since November because their league is done.
Yep.
And for many people, you would have been thinking, so it's two things. People have said, oh, because they've not played since November, they look fresh, they look strong, they look sharp. But had they been kicked out by Inter Milan, the conversation would have been, oh, because they've not played football since that time, they look rusty. And it's true, if you've not played competitive football for a very long time, you have the tendency of not getting your players on match fitness. So massive credit to the technical team for getting the boys into the condition in which they have them in. Because when they've played, and we saw them against Atletico Madrid, their counter-attacking football is different from everything I've seen. It's not just the pace. It's not just the sitting deep and then running when you have the ball.
The passing.
It's the precision with which they do it. The passing and the way the players move around. And a typical example was demonstrated in the second goal they scored against Inter Milan at San Siro.
Yeah.
It's one of the best goals I've seen this season. It really is. The way they move the ball, the way they pass, the precision with the pass and the movement was quite clinical across the face of the pitch.
They left Inter for dead.
Yeah, and so they'll back themselves. This is a team that is playing without any fear. They really have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. Making it this far could even be an achievement, a win for a successful season for them. So yeah, it's a dangerous tie when you play against teams like that. As for the Serie A matter, only 3 or 2 seasons ago we had the 2 Milan clubs in the semi-final. Yeah. Fiorentina have been in the Conference League final in the last 3 years or so, or 3 years in a row. They've not won a year.
Roma made the Europa final.
Roma made the final.
Conference League and made
the final.
Yeah.
Atalanta beat Leverkusen, who were unbeaten champions in Bundesliga and won the Pokal. In fact, they were the only team to beat Leverkusen in that season to win the Europa League. Inter Milan were in the final the last time. So I'm not too sure. This season has not been great for some of the clubs. Juventus are in a rebuilding phase. You don't expect them to do too well. Inter Milan are also, look, after last season and not winning, Inter Milan have reconstructed a little bit. You see a lot of some of the old faces from last season, but the structure in the midfield is different. There's a new coach and everything. So people need to put a bit more context to it. And again, when you're comparing the Italian teams, who's the measure really? Is it the Premier League clubs who have got 500 million to spend in the window? Mm-hmm. Or is it Real Madrid and Barcelona who have got endless pits of cash to spend? And even for Barcelona's case, even when they can't spend or register players, they always find a loophole to do it. Right? So what's the measure? Because as far as they are concerned with the money they spend, Inter have had to live on loan players and free players to do what they do. So I think the comparison needs to be, the base for comparison needs to be broadened rather than just looking at the results and saying Serie A is dying. Serie A is not the strongest side, but this season's results in some of the results in the Champions League doesn't really determine where the league is.
The context must be made.
It's a lazy way of looking at it, I think.
Now let's take a look at the pairings. City versus Real Madrid once again. I remember that famous commentary from Peter Drury. Real Madrid, they are out there in search of a miracle, and the miracle has arrived. There seem to be, as I mentioned, I don't know if it is an agenda thing. UEFA is always pairing Manchester City and Real Madrid. But What sort of a fixture is this?
UEFA is not pairing them together. The two of them decided that. In
They
fact,
want to
Real Madrid decided that they will not finish in the top 8, and as a result, it's the positions that determine who you face.
Yes.
As simple as that. So Man City too decided that they will use last day to enter the top 8, and they finished in the position that they finished in, and it was either or. It was only 2 teams they were going to get, Real Madrid or somebody else. So 50% chance, and we all knew that they will get the Real Madrid. So next time they want to avoid each other, they should both finish in the top 8. I don't think this is, but it's a win-win for us because we get to watch good football. 2 legs, Real Madrid.
But isn't it too early?
Oh, it's not too early at all. You see, everybody started on 0 points. Everybody started on 0 points. That's what you need to remember. Everybody started on 0 points. If you want to avoid the big teams or you want to avoid tough fixtures early, you do well. That's why somebody is facing Gala. Somebody's facing Atalanta. You have decided that you will not do well, so you carry your aura and you go and face Man City, and that's how it is. And the thing is, it's a Champions League. If you want to win the trophy, by all means you come up against tough opposition. If not in the knockout rounds, you face them in the group stage. Like this season, people are saying Arsenal's part is easy, but this season Arsenal has faced Atletico Madrid. They faced Bayern Munich, probably the second best team in Europe at this point. And they beat all of them. This is a knockout rounds. As a result of doing that, they end the match easier part on paper. But that's because of hard work. That's not because they just stumbled upon it. So if you want the simple draw, you do well.
Are you in a way suggesting that Arsenal's opponent Leverkusen is most likely a walkover for Arsenal?
It's not a walkover. I'm saying that if you are going to compare who City have got in Real Madrid to who Arsenal have got in Leverkusen, if you tell me Leverkusen is more difficult, then there's something wrong with you.
Sitsofe.
Yeah.
Since 2012, right? I was just going through the numbers. 2011, 2012. Manchester City and Real Madrid, they've played each other about 16 times. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's because between that period, Real Madrid have been incredibly good. Have gone into the very deep end of the competition. City have been striving to win it as well. So they would meet in quarters, meet in semis, meet in last 16 very recently.
Even group stages.
You could meet. Because at the time where their coefficients of City especially wasn't as high as they have now, they could be in the pot 2. And I remember the famous one, the 3-2 victory for Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, where Joe Hart had a heroic game against Cristiano Ronaldo. In the end, Ronaldo won the game for Madrid. With a goal, Joe Hart maybe should have done better, but the ball just bounced. There was a great goal. I thought Dzeko scored for City.
Yes.
And
that was in 2013.
Yeah, Dzeko scored
under Jose Mourinho.
Yeah. So it was Dzeko scored for City.
Yeah, truly also.
Marcelo equalized. Kolarov
scored
from a free kick that Alonso was almost trying to clear something 2-2, and then Benzema scored, make it 2-2 right after, and Ronaldo at the death won it, and then we seen also playing the semi-final before. So it became
Gareth Bale who won that game.
Gareth Bale won that game. Madrid were not good. I think that was the final.
That was Pellegrini.
Yes, his last season before Pep Guardiola came through. So it's become almost like an every year event. And one of the best City performances I've seen in the history of City came in this fixture at the Etihad.
4-0.
The 4-0 against Real Madrid. It was just a perfect football on the day.
That was about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, it was a perfect football on the day. They just blew Real Madrid off the pitch. The only thing Madrid could do was a thumping Toni Kroos shot to the woodwork. After that, they did nothing else. So it's thrown up some very exciting clashes. The most memorable one really would be that Modric, outside of the boot to Rodrigo, and then the comeback, Benzema scoring in extra time with that penalty and everything.
Modric one was Chelsea.
The Modric one was Chelsea.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The Modric one was Chelsea.
Outside of the foot.
The outside of the foot was Chelsea.
Then he's done it
but
twice.
The City one was the penalty Diaz on Benzema.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Then Rodrigo the header.
2 minutes.
Yes.
Ball to the far stick, Benzema to Rodrigo goal. Rodrigo from Carvajal's cross, Rodrigo the header, and then
the miracle has arrived.
And then absolutely. So
Benzema penalty.
Benzema. That season was a remontada all through from PSG to Chelsea to that City. So it's a fixture that but this season these two teams have shown they've got problems. At the moment, though, I think City are beginning to look a little bit better than Real because Diaz has come back from injury. John Stones is ready to maybe step on grass. They've brought in Maguire. So straight away, one of the biggest problems City have had all season, which is in defense, seemed to be steadied a little bit. And I like the fact that O'Reilly now has got a bit more physicality and presence and movements in the middle alongside Rodri, who's beginning to look fitter and fitter as the weeks go by. So they are looking good. Real Madrid have not played particularly well in any period in this season. They just know how to cross the line. But against a quality opposition, they've always been found wanting. It's still a couple of weeks before these games are kicked. A lot of storylines could change. There could be injury, there could be suspension, there could be a lot of things that could get teams advantage or disadvantage. So we wait for that to see. But it's a fixture that I think all eyes will be on as far as that last 16 is concerned.
Who progresses for you?
Muftawu, the Friday before the game, we'll have that conversation.
It's next 2 weeks.
So the Friday before the game.
So next 2 Fridays.
A lot can change. Will it happen be fit?
The fixtures on Tuesday, March 10.
Yeah. So the Friday before the Tuesday.
That is next week.
Quick. Because
on the seat.
Yeah, bro.
Because what?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But no. Who progresses for you?
City will beat Madrid.
All right. I mean,
City will beat Madrid.
Yeah.
You know the thing with me.
Or if I go consult.
When is a Tuesday, Wednesday night?
Some feeling becomes Monday.
I don't predict against Real Madrid.
You've said this before.
It's just me. I mean, call it whatever you call it. I just don't know how to predict against Real Madrid. I've seen it enough. I've done it enough. I've disgraced my body, so right now I've advised myself.
I remember when we were at Heritage.
Yeah.
Was it Bayern?
Bayern. I was sitting with Danny. We watched the game together. I kept telling, oh no, David scored the final. I've seen this. And then
it passed.
Quick.
But you see, that was Bayern. When it comes to Pep versus Madrid, especially when he came to City, the only time I've been disappointed was that Rodrigo 2 goals, and that one wasn't tactics. That one was Sum. Sum doesn't happen every time. Oh, nobody can tell me that game was. Nobody can tell me. If anybody go back and watch that game after Mahrez scored, you forget 3 minutes. Grealish on the line. Some fortuitous clearance of. I don't even understand how that thing happened. Yeah. Then everything is settled.
Also use his leg to save some.
They all of a sudden 2 goals, and you know what happened? I don't know if I tell you for this thing.
Talk to me, bro.
After Mahrez score, light off.
So you thought the game was done?
So I thought the game was done, but my body was doing me some things. So I go on my phone and I'm watching on my phone, but I'm not on like Twitter. If I'm watching on my phone, I don't. The way the network is, if you go one app, you come back buffering. So I'm watching on my phone. Then 88 minutes. I'm like, Charlie, say give now set.
End of story.
So I go and tweet that is 88 minutes and Madrid still don't have a shot on target.
I remember that tweet.
Then I dropped the phone and went downstairs because light off. Everybody was in their room, so I went downstairs to make sure that everything was locked. So I go lock everything. Then I come up. When I come up and I pick my phone, notification. I'm like, what's happening? I didn't understand.
What did I do?
And the thing was buffering, so I couldn't see. So I go on Twitter. See this guy. You say what? I say, yeah. Wow, what is happening? So I go on Google and I'm refreshing the thing. And you see Google now, when the goals, it takes a time before they write the name of the goal scorer. Yeah. But you can see 2 balls. You can see, but the goal scorer no day. Before I realized Rodrigo. I said, ow. It doesn't make sense. And you are telling me that this is tactics. You Muftawu, you want to tell me that this is tactics? Master.
Oh yeah, I think City are favorites, but I never bet.
You don't go predict games.
No, everybody know. If you listen to us if you listen to me on any other platform, I rarely predict against Real Madrid. But I think City have got the ingredients to upset.
But they faced this season. They faced in the group
stages.
And
then
at the Bernabeu.
City won it 2-1.
Quite easy. And City played in first gear.
No problem.
If that was a game you were having the commentary here, and I came. Yeah, I remember that one.
And we'll beat them again.
Leverkusen, Arsenal.
No, obviously, of course, Arsenal. It also helps again for City. Would help. It also helps because of where Arsenal finished throughout until the semis. Their deciding game in every tie is going to be decided in London, which helps. Big deal.
That's a massive
Emirates.
Yeah.
But the last time the two teams faced,
Leverkusen won it. Yeah. I saw they tweeted,
and Leverkusen went to the final. 2001.
They went to the final. Yeah, they went to the final.
They lost to Madrid.
Zidane's
won that goal.
Yeah. That was the only thing.
Galatasaray, Liverpool.
But this team doesn't have Lucio.
Gala, Liverpool.
Gala has beaten Liverpool this season.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the group stages, and they'll beat them again.
Yeah. If Galatasaray need to massively improve. In fact, in the first leg against Inter Milan, I didn't think they were necessarily great.
Against Juventus, you
mean? Against Juve.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were brilliant.
They were just efficient.
Yeah. And even that, Juve got a red card. And that was when the three other goals started pouring in.
Yeah.
Then in Turin, I thought Juve were going to roast Galatasaray. Then Kelly got sent off. I thought, unfortunately.
Charlie, that red card. Yeah.
But even that, at 10v11, it looked like Galatasaray had a man sent off.
Yeah.
Or two men sent off. Because Juve completely dominated. They could have won the game in regulation time, to be fair. They would desperately need to improve. And it also comes with the fact that they've not been here for a very long time. For a very long time. So right now, the experience of Gundogan, the experience of Leroy Sané, because they've played here before.
Yeah.
Osimhen. You know, these players, the experience and the know-how of this, yes, it must come to the fore. Otherwise, they might not be able to handle Anfield and the stage when they face Liverpool.
But I think is, you see, that place now, Galatasaray is home. Hell. No, it is really hell. Like, was it Gundogan after the Liverpool game?
Yeah.
He said somebody, a Liverpool player told him that he had not experienced. That place is not small.
So generally some of the best.
And you see, this season at Anfield, Liverpool haven't been too convincing. So Liverpool need to go to hell and come back with something.
You need to go to hell and come back to heaven.
And come back, because in the second leg, if you give yourself too much to do at Anfield, you may be found wanting. Because yes, the name on paper may be Galatasaray, but that squad has some big talents in there, and they will punish you. They can't punish you. So Liverpool first leg, they need to get something out of it.
Very nice. They need to get something out of it. Then we have Tottenham versus Atletico Madrid.
That game, we'll talk about it in the quarterfinal. The two of them are not serious. So,
how
means?
How are they not serious?
Where are Tottenham on the league table?
Did they fear the relegation?
I guess if Tottenham are in the bottom half, they normally do well in Europe.
The Champions League no be Europa. Champions League.
That's Europa.
Charlie Muftawu. The game of the round is not City and Real Madrid.
Which is it?
The game of the
Chelsea,
round is
Chelsea? Why?
The repeat of the Club World Cup. That's the game of the round. Because since that time, Chelsea have declined.
The PSG are not looking great either.
And PSG themselves are not looking that good. And I think going into the Club World Cup final, PSG were clearly the better team. Yeah, Chelsea had to adapt, and Chelsea got the better of them. This time around, I think the approaches could be different because I think they are more of PS now. Both teams, in fact, no, Chelsea made it through to the top 8. PSG had to go through the playoff round, just like last season. But the thing is, if you watch them this time around, even the game against Monaco, you know how poor Monaco have been this season. Yet Monaco beat them in the league. It was a close one in the first leg, another close one in the second leg.
True.
And Monaco got a red card. And that second half looked very nervy for PSG, even with a man advantage. So PSG have not been looking good. But again, to Chelsea themselves too have looked some way. So you don't know the team that will show up. But I want everybody to be fit. If Chelsea have James, Fofana, Caicedo, Enzo, all those guys in that game, Cole Palmer in that game, over 2 legs, I think Chelsea will beat PSG.
They may get a red card.
That'll be the problem. It's true. The red card will be the problem.
Yeah, I also think that the level ground is different because in the Club World Cup you are playing, as you said, PSG with overwhelming favourites. PSG play a lot with the ball. They like to move the ball. Chelsea resulted to going long. The pitch wasn't great.
It was a one-off.
It was a one-off. This is a home and away encounter. Yeah, Chelsea will decide that game in London at the bridge. But the problem I've got with Chelsea is, even with their new manager, when they play in these big games, we've not seen them show their capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I think Enzo Maresca, okay, we've not seen enough of Liam to judge, but I think Enzo Maresca had it in him to prepare his team better for these scenarios than maybe Liam. Because Enzo Maresca, of course, is a good tactician and everything, so he could assign his team specific duties for that one fixture, and you know that in the weekend when they play in the Premier League, it's a different approach. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if Liam has got that in his, that's got that ability to structure Chelsea in a way that makes PSG difficult to beat them. If it's going to play just as it's played in the Premier League, I don't see it against PSG, even though PSG have got problems on their own. I think one of the things PSG are missing now is Donnarumma, and I've tweeted it on X. That PSG always considered some very big chances last season on their way to the final, but Donnarumma was always there. In the game against Liverpool, in the game against Arsenal, we saw it Martinelli save. You know, Aston Villa as well. So like PSG were dominant everything, but the way they play also means they'll give up chances. So they give up chances against Monaco in the league phase. They give up a lot of chances, and those chances that Donnarumma would have saved are now turning into goals quickly. And that is why I worry for PSG. But it remains to be seen if Liam Rossignol has got it in him to put a style together that stops this Paris Saint-Germain team. But I've not seen enough of him now to say that he maybe has got that in his locker.
Quite an interesting one. Someone is asking for the Safari number again. It is 053 100 3813 053 100 3813. WhatsApp Slevin or call him. This one says that Muftawu, I'm sad today. You didn't make us hear the Italian tune you usually use to introduce.
Fentio is not here. Fentio is not here.
I apologize. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. He's listening to us from Rome. This one also says that Nito you. He said, let's correct the wrong Black Stars. Let's call it the wrong Black Stars budget. Well, it's their budget, so they are taking it to.
Oh, we'll have time for it. Between now and the World Cup.
Yeah,
we don't want to exhaust that whole conversation. Yeah, more revelations are coming.
Yeah, there are a lot of things.
Muftawu is speaking more things.
There's this one that says that, hello guys, please, per the parents, what's the possible path for Arsenal to the final? Assuming they win all their matches.
Let me tell him.
This is Nene from Dansoman.
Nene, Arsenal play against Leverkusen. If they win, they play against the winner of either Bodo Glimt or Sporting CP. Then if they win that one, they get to the semi-final. On the other side of the bracket, though, would be the winner of Newcastle or Barcelona playing against the winner of Atletico Madrid or Spurs. So the winner of that tie will play against Arsenal if Arsenal go all the way to the semis. Will play against Arsenal. So Arsenal could play, if Arsenal reach the semis, they could play either Spurs or Atletico or Barca or Newcastle. There you have it.
Okay, Nene, you have it there. Kwame Fiak from Kentucky is asking why we're not talking about PSG Arsenal. We're just talking about
especially came too early.
Kwame, be patient, please. This one says that, hello Muftawu, when Man City trashed Real Madrid 4-0 in that semi-final, Madrid couldn't even complete a pass in Man City's half of the first 30 minutes of the first half. They couldn't even enter Man City's half for the first 25 minutes.
Yep.
Kelly from mile 7.
It was a perfect game.
He watched the games.
It was a perfect game.
And had eyes for every single
Madrid couldn't breathe, game. Like they couldn't move. It was men against boys on that day, really.
It was indeed juju. That is the
But I think
function.
okay, you've got commercials.
Yeah. I'm just going to execute the one pretty quick.
Yeah, because when you come back, I think the Newcastle Barca need some attention.
Yes, indeed. So just a moment. So this is your 3-day only shopping alert, starting this Friday the 27th through to Sunday the 1st of March 2026. It is the Electroland Ramadan Factory Sales, the Ramadan Bazaar you've been waiting for. Yes, for just 3 days, grab unbeatable deals at Samsung, TCL, Media, and NASCO electrical and electronic appliances at crazy factory sale prices. We are talking TVs, home theaters, air conditioners, refrigerators, washing machines, gas cookers, microwaves, chest freezers, display freezers, and small kitchen appliances, all going at massive discounts. And guess what? You'll find brand new items, slightly dented units, off-showroom displays, refurbished and more, all at a bargain prices. Visit us at EGL Spintex near Coca-Cola Roundabout, Ring Road near Paloma Hotel, Kumasi on the Kasi Road, Takrady near Telecel, Mankasim near the Roundabout. Don't miss it. It is strictly Friday to Sunday only. For enquiries, call 050-315-9739 or 050-298-9894. Electroland Ramadan Bazaar. Shop smart, save big, and bring the blessings home. And the FIFA World Cup 2026 happening in the USA, Mexico, and Canada. If you want to experience the tournament, there's only one destination for you. Walk to Latina Travel and Tour right now. They are located at North Reach inside the Alisa Hotel. They have packages ranging from $3,990 all the way up to $6,000. And when you go to Latina Travel and Tour, your visa fee will be paid by them. That is if you buy your package, your accommodation, your flight. There's also exclusive business networking opportunities that they are creating for people who want to experience the FIFA World Cup. Don't forget, the Black Stars will be there, and you would have to be there as well to throw your weight behind them. As the president mentioned, thousands of people want to go to the FIFA World Cup, and if you go, please come back. Next week, there's going to be the Sit match. And on the 7th of March, there is a fight night that's going to be happening. But before we talk about that fight night, Sitso has spoken about Newcastle United versus Barcelona. Sitso, briefly, on the Newcastle United versus Barcelona, then we'll talk 1957 fight night.
No, it's an incredible fixture. Simply because both teams have got, like, it's a perfect fixture for both teams, right? Mm-hmm. Where Barcelona have got incredible talent in offensive and defensively throughout the season. We know they've got liabilities. Newcastle, on the other hand,
did you just describe them as liabilities?
Oh, they have a lot of
defense.
Defense there. The Barca fans now, they're not saying so. And Newcastle, I'm thinking in that game. I'm thinking what Amadi could rest up.
Mm-hmm.
Joelinton is returning to his full fitness. Bruno Guimaraes tonally in that middle, very combative. It's a very good blend. Unleash Elanga, Gordon, Barnes, or Murphy. Like, let the speedsters run and tell them that don't rush the running. You can start from the center. You get in behind. Because the line is on the center line, so you can come into the arc in your own half. When the ball is played, just run through. It will be a very interesting fixture. We've already seen them this season. It took the magic of Marcus Rashford in that game really to get Barca going. Of course, he'll be playing again. So yeah, it will be a very fascinating fixture.
Over 2 legs also.
Over 2 legs.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sitso. Thank you very much, Dan Koranteng. Let's talk about the 1957 fight night happening on March 7 in Koforidua. We've been joined by the PKO group. They are the organizers of this fight, and they are Head of Communications and Marketing, Sandel, is here. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm a bit taken aback that if a woman power they talk boxing like that, no. You throw punches?
A little.
Are you a street fighter?
No street, but
you were.
You boot for boot wherever you need me.
1957 fight night. What's it all about?
So 1957 fight night because it's gonna be happening on the weekend of the independence, and it's something to celebrate Ghana's strength, Ghana's Ghanaians,
Ghana's
discipline.
resilience as well.
Yes, and so that's why it was termed 1957, and it's going to be happening in Koforidua at 7 p.m. and it's going to be great with a whole lot of boxers, both locally and internationally, and it's being brought about by PKO groups, PKO Boxing, and then SP Sports. The CEO is Mr. Samuel Ej Dakwa. So it's a collaboration between PKO Group or PKO Boxing. PKO is a group of companies, and under PKO Group we have the boxing wing, which is PKO Boxing. So PKO Boxing and SP Sports came together to bring this thing to.
What influenced the choice of venue?
I mean, why not Koforidua? Every time every boxing match is happening in Accra, and we want people all over Ghana to experience live boxing matches. They don't have to travel to Accra. So PKO has put it up.
But we should travel there.
No, well, you can. It's a long weekend, so you can go with the boys or with the girls. And then, I mean, Koforidua, because Koforidua is a first stop. And it's going to be a nationwide thing. Every region is going to experience live matches, live boxing matches. For Koforidua is the first stop. So,
really?
yes.
You're taking boxing across the country?
Across the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually massive because just as you mentioned, a chunk of the boxing events often take place in
Accra, yes.
And then predominantly either at the Accra Stadium or the Bukum Boxing Arena. To
Yes.
take boxing closer to the people is a massive thing that PKO Group is embarking on. But PKO Group as an organization, what actually are you into? What do you do?
So PKO Group is a group of companies. We have the sporting side, the boxing wing, which is the PKO Boxing. Besides boxing, we are into other type of sports that will be revealed later, not now. We are also into arts, that's under the animatic frames, and we are also into training and education of the boxers. That's the Azalea Academy. We also have
Austin, you've set up an academy to train
boxers,
okay.
Yes, not just in boxing, but general well-being, education, media work, everything. We just want our boxers or our athletes to be equipped that even without boxing, they can still, I mean, whether they make it to, they become world champions or not, they can still do something with their lives. Yes. So that's what Azalea Academy is for. And we have the fashion wing, which is Lord Edwards, which is
we are boxers.
yes. Lord Edwards. We have a whole lot of stuff under PKO Group. So it's a variety of stuff. We are not limiting ourselves to just boxing. There are other stuff as well.
Where in Koforidua is the fight happening?
So it's happening at the Total 2. Total 2 is quite central. Everyone in Koforidua knows Total 2. So that's why it's going to be happening on the 7th of March at 7 p.m. So yeah, in Koforidua.
How many fighters are on the bill?
About 26, because there are going to be 13 bouts.
13 bouts?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's going to be a very long night.
It's a long night. We're not just for boxing. We have entertainment. We have some musicians on board as well. So you're not just going to be bored. In between, there are going to be breaks. And yeah, so we are bringing boxing and entertainment to Koforidua on the 7th of March.
So the people of Koforidua, get ready. The people of Accra, let's get ready. Let's all assemble. It's a weekend. In fact, the holiday will be on the 5th.
It's a Friday.
5th, which is a Friday.
Yes.
So what a long weekend that would be.
I know. That's why you have to come with your boys. I mean, it's not for just people in Koforidua. You are in Accra, you are in Kumasi, wherever you are at. Just come because, I mean, it's a long weekend. Yeah.
I want to say with my boys, these boys.
Yes, with them.
These are the boys who will be coming with Sandal. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We are extremely grateful that you've been able to join us, and we'll be there to tell your story about the fight night. I think it has something to do with Ghana's independence, as you mentioned. So
yeah.
We end independence in 1957, 6th March. So if you say 1957 fight night, you are very creative.
We are so smart.
Yeah. That is our show for today. Thank you very much for doing the listening. I sat in for Fentio Tahiru, who at the moment, in fact, he joined us on phone to clear things from his chest. And he asked Jan Pofankra to apologize to Joyce Force here for some of the things he said about us. Sitsofe, Philip, and then Daniel Koranteng. I got the pronunciation right? Gustav will have to buy me lunch.
Hello, better, yeah.
He has to buy me lunch. Up next is the BBC World Service, and after that, we'll bring you Draft Time.
Nairobi with focus on Africa. The World Health Organization estimates that 1 in every 6 people experience infertility around the world. And across Africa, there is still a lot of stigma surrounding it.
I never thought at the age of 26 years old I'd be sterilized. I currently don't have any fallopian tubes, and any chance of me being able to have a baby must happen artificially.
Now more people are opening up online about their experiences with infertility, including men.